For more on the 9th meeting of the Tokyo International Conference for African Development, global security expert Femi Aratokun joins me on the news this hour. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on your program today.
So once again, we see the president pushing for a permanent seat for Africa in the United Nations Security Council. He did that the last time as well. I think it was the United Nations General Assembly. He seems to be serious about this. How important and significant is this if Africa, especially Nigeria, were to get this?
Let me start from taking this step to really thank the president for coming on board and nailing it down to the UN Security Council, because over time, over years, Nigeria has always, been in forefront in leading the pathway for peacekeeping when it comes to UN Security Council in Africa and beyond. However, it is even a slap to the African community, a slap to the Nigerian leaders, a slap to African leaders that up to date we still do not have a permanent seat at the UN Security Councils. Asking for 2 is nothing at all, because we should be having at least nothing less than 4 to 5 or 10. Irrespective of the fact that we have 52 countries in Africa and we're asking for 2, and it's still causing for a debate or calling for something they need to deliberate on, is really a slap. However, it's a step towards the right direction. Let us see what they're going to say. Let us see how they're going to react to it, because right now, what is the point of having 5 UN? What is the point of having the global security network if Africa is not well represented there? It's not the best way to go, but let us commend the president of Nigeria for going right there and telling them straight that we need to have this UN seat and we need to have it. Africa must be represented, and Nigeria as a country must be one of them to represent us.
And some have pushed it even further to say if you're going to have African countries on the UNSC, one of them should at least come with the veto power. I just also want to get your, is that asking for too much, that an African country should also get veto, as you would have the United Nations, China, and Russia?
You see, apparently we're not asking for too much, because if we can have smaller countries in Europe and all the rest, being part of UN, what does it cost Nigeria not to be part of them? We have done so much in making sure that things are done the right way. We have done so much in making sure that, yes, things are done the way it should be done. We have done so much to make sure that insurgency in Nigeria, in Africa, is clean, is clear. So what is the big deal in not making Nigeria one of them? What is the big deal in making sure that Nigeria is not there to really talk security, to really talk business, to really talk how things should go further in Africa, in the global market, with all the rest of the countries all over the world? We need to be there. We are there already. We are doing the best of what we can do, and we can do more. But what we do need is this: let us have our seat over there so that we can equally have the veto power when it comes to decision-making in Africa and beyond.
And for those who say perhaps we haven't gotten a hang of security back here on the continent, and that the continent is still plagued with several security challenges, some of them even cutting across several countries, and we haven't found that collaborative point where we can actually deal with these issues together. And so what's the point if we have not dealt with our own problems in the continent and then asking to be on the global security platform?
I think I need to come in here and I need to hit the hard point. Nigeria is working well when it comes to the issue of security. I'm not a politician and I'm not ready to probably, rub it around anyone. But when it comes to insecurity, everywhere all over the world is filled up with insecurity. Challenges are everywhere internally. So don't let us rub it on Nigeria. Nigeria is trying their best, despite the fact that we have low turnout, low support when it comes to security issues. Yes, we can criticize the government. Yes, we can criticize the police. Yes, we can criticize the civil defense. But what effort are we putting together to make sure that our country is safe today? Yes, I can tell you for a fact, I've been in Nigeria now, going to oversee about 6 weeks plus. And I've not really recorded a serious incident in Nigeria or in Lagos or in parts of different places in Africa. In Nigeria. I've been on the road, traveling by road, and I've not really seen any serious kidnap issues going on. Yes, there might be certain set of criminal activities going on. It's normal anywhere all over the world. But when it comes to tackling the biggest security issues, Nigeria is trying, and our soldiers, our military, our police are doing their best.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. We're following through with that issue, and we'll see how the global community responds. Global security expert Femi Aratokun, thanks for joining us.